Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
So we had a few requests to do a coming out video.
And
We're not prepared.
we don't know how we came out. And that's it, the end.
Okay, so our story isn't really... Okay, our coming out story isn't really, I don't know.
Like legendary.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like it slowly happened. And I'm gonna be honest, we didn't have the hardest time, but we did have some
We'll just tell you our experience prior to
Coming
us
out.
coming out.
yeah, because that's it, because so we'll kind of talk about me first because I was gay first. So like I mentioned in the previous video, I was gay, and I believe I came to this realization when I was in 8th grade, and there was no one that I knew that was possibly gay, and so I pretty much kept it to myself. And I didn't really let anyone know till I was in high school. So it's a pretty long time. So like almost 4 years, I just kept it to myself. And during this time, all I did was kind of write in a diary about how I felt, and that was it. Like there was nothing online. I told you there was that one show, but as far as people I could talk to or anything I could relate to online, it was non-existent. So in high school, when I was in 12th grade, I had a friend who was very open about being gay, and this was new to me because up until this point I didn't have anyone that felt the same way I did. So when I was able to talk about it and just kind of voice how I was, it was kind of liberating. It was the first time that I could speak about it, and this person made me feel okay. Pretty much after that, I came out to my friends in high school, and just so much support. I was just so lucky that they all supported me in how I felt. They didn't discriminate, no matter what their religious views were, or their ethnicity. They all just supported me, and that was just, I was just lucky. And as far as my parents, I never told my mom. She just noticed that I always had just girls coming over at my house. And then finally she asked me herself, and I said no at first, and then I was like yes. And then again, I was very lucky because my mom, she just supported me from the beginning. She never made me feel bad about like my sexual orientation. And I think it's funny because she also had a hunch too, because it's not that she didn't want me to be gay, it's just that she wanted me to have an easier life, and she just knew that being gay wasn't,
It was still not
accepted as much, and it was harder. So she would actually, and she told me later on that she would actually like not let me play basketball, and I was only allowed to like join volleyball and tennis, and I was like, why? And then because she didn't want me to be gay. And then
oh, we forgot to mention, we're Filipino.
oh yeah,
So in the Filipino culture, they're more conservative, I should say.
yeah, our culture is very conservative. in the Philippines, they're brought up with the Catholic religion, and so being gay is kind of like forbidden in a way, and so yeah, my mom did try to kind of sway me in the way of being straight, but
I think it was more towards
to protect me, not because she didn't want me to be gay, but when she finally knew that I was, she supported me 100%. However, my dad, my parents are divorced, and my dad, not so much. He wasn't, to begin with, we weren't even close, and his side of the family is more conservative, a very church-going, and so that part of me coming out was hard, because I felt like my dad wouldn't accept it, and so if I couldn't come out to him, then I couldn't come out to his side of the family, which in result caused me to kind of seclude myself from them. So my cousins, my aunties and uncles, I kind of never really talked to them. I just separated myself because I thought that was what I should do back then. But we'll talk about it later, but thinking now, like, it's one of the things I regret. But all right, and that's pretty much, yeah. So my friends knew, my mom knew, from high school on up until I met Casey. It was mainly my dad that didn't know, and his side of the family. And then as far as Casey, oh wait, so one thing though is, even if my mom 100% supported me, she did suggest, you know, not flaunting it, and not, she didn't say not flaunt it, but just don't be like,
basically not be open about it.
Kind of, yeah, like just kind of like, you could be that way, just keep it to yourself, she said. Like, and at that time, you know, it sounded right, like, yeah, like I'll hurt less people, but yeah, it has its effects in the long run. So it has its long-term effects, like in the long run, as far as it won't be as beneficial if you keep it to yourself, and that's just how I feel. But we'll talk about that later on. And then Casey.
Okay, with my story, I don't know if you watched the first video. Kim was the first girl that I had feelings for.
We kind of just started hanging out every day until people just started noticing.
Well, people that knew us started noticing because she was gay, and so
they were just questioning.
Yeah, they were just questioning it. So my coming out story isn't really that legendary, like we were saying. So I first came out to my cousin that I talked about in the first video. Well, he was gay, so it was much easier for me. And then the next, who did I come out?
I think her friends.
Oh yeah, my friend.
She's really close to her friends. Like, she has a few best friends that kind of just were like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't remember the first friend that I've told. I feel like it was a group of them at one time at one of her parties. And they kind of already knew, like I said, because they knew of Kim and they knew she was gay, and they noticed that we'd been hanging out. Of course, they were supportive as well. And then
so it's funny, when we would hang out, I would sleep over at her house like all the time.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, most people would think that, oh, just, you know, best friends. Like, she did have a best friend that would just sleep over all the time.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't weird at first until they would start catching little things. So like,
okay, so like she's talking about my brother.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I was living at my parents' house.
Yeah, and they didn't have locks in their doors for some reason, and their family just went in and out each other's rooms, just like no other.
Yeah.
And one time, it was like early in the morning, and
We came. I think we went to a party that night before, and then
Yeah,
we were
and
drunk, so
her-
we didn't realize.
her brother just opened up the door, and my like leg was like totally on her.
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything, but the next morning he was like, "Why are you guys sleeping like that?" And then we were just like, "Oh, haha."
I just told him that I was that we were drunk, and you know. So it was like little things like that they would catch.
Yeah.
And so I came out to my friends, and like I said, they were supportive. I wasn't really scared about that because I kind of knew they would support me no matter what.
Also, we would kind of like slip up in front of her mom. Yeah. Just one time we called each other babe, and then one time when we were at the dining table together with her mom and then another like family friend, Casey like just
Oh, I was calling him. I was like,
she accidentally said babe out loud.
yeah.
And she tried to play it off, and she was just like, babe, 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 babe. And I was like, what the heck? And her mom, like, eyes, like, just enlarged, and she was
And my mom kind of was already getting hints.
Yeah,
like I
her
said,
mom-
during this time, she was already getting hints.
yeah, like, we could catch on, like, we could tell she was catching on because she would call me her partner. She'd be like, where's Kim? Where's your partner?
Yeah, I really don't know how she knew, but she would start calling him my partner, like joking around about it.
Well, anyways, after she said Bane, 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 her mom was like, go upstairs.
Well, also I was drunk. You know what you
Just like we're always drunk.
Yeah, and then there was another time where I accidentally texted her, and that's like the worst thing you can do. I texted her, babe, it's hot outside. I was supposed to text Kim, and I told her it was an autocorrect. She believed me, I think.
I don't think so.
So just little stuff like that, and I feel like once she started to know that it was really my girl, she was really my girlfriend.
Because she would say stuff like, oh,
Where's your girlfriend?
Where's your partner?
I think just to see a reaction on me, and so my mom would joke around like, oh, where's your girlfriend? And stuff like that.
And
And I think once she started to know that she was really my girlfriend, she started to not say that anymore. She started not joking around, basically. I think she was saying girlfriend just to get a reaction out of me.
So we met 2010, we got together 2011, and we lived at our parents' house till 2014, and we didn't tell her parents.
So we were together for 4 years until I came out
Yeah, so
to them.
So for us, this isn't, we didn't not tell her parents because we were scared or we didn't want to tell them. It's just,
I think we were just not ready.
yeah, we weren't ready. And we kind of wanted to be strategic in a way of how we came out to her family because, you know, I would never want her to have to choose between her family or me.
Just in case
Yeah, not that we ever felt that it would be that way, but we just, in case it would get to that point. I just still feel that if you live under your parents' roof, you should still respect them.
I guess she just, like she said, she didn't want me to be in that position where I had to pick between my parents
or me.
Yeah.
So finally, well, at first we came out, she came out to her brother.
Yeah. My brother,
on her family side.
okay, so my sister I came out to, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember how I came out to my sister. It must have been my sister.
Her sister was 10 years younger.
Yeah, she was super young, and I knew she wouldn't care. And with my brother too.
So if she was 21, then her sister was like 11 years old.
So
she didn't care. She didn't care. But her brother was 5 years younger. He knew what was going on.
So I came out to him and his girlfriend, and we're really close to his girlfriend. So I was actually with 3 of my best friends.
We had kind of like people come over.
Yeah. So I brought my brother and his girlfriend and 3 of my best friends with me, and I told him that I had to tell him something, and I told him that we were together, and he said he knew, and he gave me a hug, which was unexpected because we don't hug at all. And then his girlfriend,
but his girlfriend was like in complete shock. He was like, what? She was like, I thought y'all just did laundry together. She's like,
I thought y'all best friends.
So
my brother always knew, and she was saying like, your brother would always be like, I think my sister and Kim are together, and she just never believed it, which is, I don't know. But she was accepting too, so
Casey's friends accepted it. Her brother did. Her sister.
So the only people left were my parents and the rest of my family.
Yeah. But you know. So 2015, we finally decided to move out and get our first apartment together. And they never asked why we were moving out together. We just were.
Yeah. So we just decided to move out together just because.
They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But we did get a 2-bedroom, and the other bedroom wasn't being used. I felt like it was appropriate. You know, we were paying for our own bills. We had our own place. That it was the right time for us to let her parents know. So her mom, super nice. So like there was no question that we'd come out to her. Her dad, on the other hand,
I think
it's a different story. He's like we said,
he was in the military, and he's not really a man of many words.
So we kept him for later. But her mom, we took her out to breakfast. No, the way we came out to her mom was we took them out to breakfast. Her mom and her sister.
So my sister already knew during this time.
So the plan though was tell her mom during breakfast that we are together. So the anxiety was real. We were there. We were eating breakfast.
I was working night shifts. I just got off of work that morning, and I was really tired. And
so we were eating breakfast. We might have grabbed a beer, and then I was just anticipating the whole time. We're eating. All the food was gone. I'm still waiting, and we paid the bill, and I'm still waiting.
I think we were texting.
Like I was waiting for Casey to start.
I was just super nervous. I have never been that nervous in my life in front of my mom.
Yeah, but this is her mom, so I'm like waiting for Casey to like say something. So food was gone, the bill was done, we were already
walking to the car,
and then I yelled. Casey like ran to her mom, and I
was like, "Mom, wait, I have something to tell you." And then she like turned around, and then I was like, she's all wet, and then I was like, "Me and Kim are together."
She's like, I know.
She's all mother's instinct.
So basically that's how she came out to her mom. She ran to her after on the street.
It was awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward.
So she was already leaving. She was already near her car. So she left, and then we were texting and all that, and it was such a relief. I felt like good that, you know, because as long as like, well, I still had my dad actually.
Yeah, but I mean that's one half of the parents that got out of the way, and her mom wasn't like, no, you can't be with her.
Yeah, she just said she knew. But
same thing, kind of like my mom.
Yeah, we were texting after that, and she was saying like she knew, blah blah blah. But then she said something like, oh, but just try not to like post anything yet. And
again, it's so crazy because the Filipino culture, it's just, they're so...
I'm not copying you.
They're so into what's going on in your life. And it's like they kind of, it's just a thing. They like to talk and kind of gossip. And so again, she was trying to protect her daughter because
I don't think necessarily, obviously she cared, I think.
Yeah, because then they'll like talk about it, and no mother or parent wants to go through that and hear that. Even my mom told me like she doesn't like hearing it. And so one thing is just, man, keep it.
Well, like I said, when she did text me that, I told her, no, I'm not gonna not post anything. I don't care what people think, as long as you guys know. That's all that matters. That's
how we felt.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of
like... And she didn't argue with me. She knew I was right.
Yeah, but that was just her advice because her dad's side of the family is way more conservative, just as my dad was. It just, like, every time we would go to, like, family parties, you just felt them talking about you. That's just the way Filipinos are. They kind of just...
Gossip.
They gossip. It's just, that's how it is. And it's kind of like suppressing, like, you could feel them, and they kind of like look at you really quickly, and
I don't even really think they try to hide it.
Yeah, they don't. It just, it sucks. Like, it's such a crazy feeling. But
so
yeah, like Filipinos, they're just so quick to just be like, hey, are you at school? Hey, who's your boyfriend?
Yeah,
and
automatically.
And then you're like,
yeah.
And then you always, yeah, and it's just, they always have like questions about your life, like, and so, yeah, well, it's just really hard keeping it a secret.
Yeah.
It's, you don't feel good,
anything you have to keep a secret doesn't feel good, basically.
Yeah.
Especially from people that you love.
Especially family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after my mom told me I was supposed to do anything, I told her how I felt. She didn't really argue with me because she knows, right? And then I had to come out to my dad. This is probably not the best way to come out. But I mean, my dad don't really talk like that, so I didn't really know how to talk to him. So I just texted him.
That's mainly how they communicated before.
And I just texted him, and I was was surprised by his response, because he was the most scared. I was the most scared of him, actually.
Okay, I was honestly scared of him too, because he came from the Navy. He's very stern, he's proper, and he didn't, like Casey said, he wasn't a man of many words. So
his response was, this is honestly, it didn't even, I thought it was him texting. He said something along the lines, I honestly, this is so long ago, I don't remember, but he said something like, as long as you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and she was in complete shock when this happened, because she like ran to me and like she showed me the text, and I was like shocked too. But
so
big sigh of relief. It's so crazy.
So once my parents knew, I kind of was just like, I kind of let my
because
tell everyone else in the family.
Even if I love Casey so much, and then she did too, like it wasn't like, oh, like forget all y'all, like we're gonna do whatever we want. No, I still respected them, and I wanted them to, I wanted their blessing.
And basically, luckily they liked him from the beginning as my friend, or as they thought it was my friend. So that made it easier on me, because they can't really not like you all of a sudden because she ended up being my girlfriend. They knew how she was prior to me coming out, and they liked her from the beginning, so it was kind of easy for me to let them know that she was my girlfriend.
Okay, so her friends approved. We had her brother and sister, her parents, her extended family, another story. But the main thing is that we got her parents' approval, and
I felt like that's all that mattered to me.
Yeah, and then so on my side, my dad was still not.
I think he was having a hard time accepting it.
I still didn't come out to him. Okay, as crazy as it was, of all the places for Casey to get a job, she ended up working the same place as my dad.
Which is so crazy.
It's just, I mean, anywhere, you can work anywhere in the world, have any occupation, and then she ends up working the same place as my dad.
Yeah.
So they had different shifts, so they weren't on the same, they didn't work the same time, but they had the same coworkers, and the coworkers talk. So long story short, like, she had coworkers that followed her on Instagram, and then she would post about me, and then they would talk about it, and it would get to my dad, which is, it was kind of shocking because my dad is never aggressive, and he's, for the most part, he's very kind. And so I was pretty shocked when I found out that one day he approached Casey, and he told her,
well, he basically was like, do you know Kim? He didn't ask me first either, but he said, do you know Kim, blah blah blah, is she gay? And it was like the most awkward thing.
But then Casey was like, that's something you should ask her.
Yeah, that's something you should ask her. You should give her a call. She's been waiting for you to call her. And I think he continued to ask me stuff.
He said, did you know? He was like, I want grandkids.
He didn't even ask me if we were together, but he just started talking as if he knew that we were together, because he would say stuff like, I like want grandkids someday, but little did he know, I came out pregnant and had twins. Gay people can get pregnant too.
Joke's on you, Dad.
But anyways, that was kind of hurtful, but I try not to take it seriously, because I try to be understanding about it, and
it was pretty shocking, because I felt like he sort of
kind of attacked me a little bit,
and we weren't already just not as close, because I didn't grow up with him. And again, like I told you, I didn't like come out to him early, and so we never really talked, and I would see him kind of just during the holidays. And so for that to happen, it kind of just threw me off guard, and I just didn't say anything. I just didn't talk to him, because I just felt like he wouldn't approve of it.
Yeah.
How did I come out to him?
I think he had a feeling you were gay from the beginning.
I think eventually, like, he was my dad, and I've been with Casey at this point for how many years that I don't exactly remember the exact way I came out to him, but I probably just ended up telling him, like, hey, Casey's my, like, girlfriend, or the fact that I was engaged to her and that she was going to be my wife, because I did remember planning on doing like a first dance with him. He knew that we were going to get married. This is like later on that I finally told him. He never said no. Like, he never said, oh, I mean, I was his only child, and so I don't think he felt like maybe he couldn't like ignore me or anything, but I never felt like he was just like, yeah, Kim, like, yeah, that's okay with me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
In fact, for our actual wedding that we were preparing for, first dance, like, I would go to his house and like kind of like dance with him so that like we could prepare for that, and that he was supposed to walk me. He ended up not showing up for my wedding.
Yeah, I think it was the day before.
Yeah, the day before he told me that he hurt his back and that he wouldn't be able to go, and so that was hurtful. I mean, I don't ever want to think bad things or that it was intentional. But it just sucks that the one day that was just so big to me at that point in my life that he wasn't able to show up, because I thought we were progressing, and so that was tough. So I still felt like I was still coming out to him, like it wasn't 100%. Same thing with at this point, my dad's side of the family obviously already knew, because I finally came out to my cousins, and then I introduced them to Casey, and then they all loved her. Like, they all like Casey, and so it was mainly my dad and then a few family members that were kind of just not as
which is expected.
Yeah,
especially you said in the Filipino culture.
Yeah,
the same with my dad's side. So
yeah,
I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, as long as
I think I mean, you're not. I don't.
Yeah, it's not like we're hurting anyone,
Yeah.
and we're still respectful. It's not like we're out there like
Being
forget
all
y'all,
over each
like
other,
we're
yeah,
like we're not like out there like kissing each other in front
Yeah.
of them. Like we still try to respect because they're family. Like we never want to be rude, but we're also like, you know, we really love each other. We're not gonna not be together
Yeah.
because you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So like that was something we like stood by. Like,
Yeah.
so me and my dad's relationship is kind of like up and down at this point. I thought we were getting good, and then it would just get bad, and then it was just up and down.
I think it was hard for him to accept it.
I think so too. It just was like it's hard. It's hard to just know that your child. I understand that to find out that your child is gay. Like it's different.
Still not fully accepted.
Yeah.
Even till now, it's not fully accepted. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's expected, and we understand.
Yeah.
Um,
And but with my dad, finally, after having our kids, something just kind of just
triggered him.
like this whole like light came out where he just all of a sudden was just a part of my life. Like once we had our kids, like he was just very open and just accepting.
And I kind of felt it too.
Yeah,
he would talk
it's
to
so
me
different.
more.
He would always ask about Casey
Yeah.
when we would talk on the phone, and I would visit him more, and yeah, like this is probably the most
Close you guys.
the closest and the best our relationship has ever been, and yeah, I'm so happy for that. Yeah, like I see him more, and I could tell like he cares about Casey, and he's like so into the kids, and I couldn't be more happy. But moral of that story, that you know, with their parents, like you just, you know, you can expect the worst, but always be hopeful that it can get better. Don't think that that's the end.
Yeah.
Like it can get better. All that with my experience, and just with coming out in general.
I mean,
like
I know
how,
you heard people say that gay people come out every day.
Like how my mom said, it's just keep it to yourself. Me, I regret that now because
She did. Okay, so you should tell them your experience. Like you would argue.
yeah, we would argue about it. Like I had my Instagram profile on private, and I didn't really tell like my coworkers, and because that's how I was brought up. That's what I knew, and I thought that's how it should be.
The funny part is she was gay first.
Yeah, but
And once I came out to my parents, I just did not care about anything else. I think that was the one thing that I was waiting for, and that's like I just didn't care about.
It's just that's how I thought it should be, because I was keeping it to myself, and I was like, okay, until eventually it gets to that point where people start asking, like, oh, how's your husband, blah, 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 or at work, and then I would just lie and say,
So
well,
she's never told me about this.
well, anyways,
You didn't tell me about that.
Anyways,
She never told me she would lie.
So this was a long time ago, but then that's just how I thought I should be, and like, you know, like I said, it's suppressing, and it just hurt me because Casey was just newly, like not gay, but newly with me, and she would just tell her coworkers left and right. She'd be like,
Let me say. So I would not care, but at the same time, I remember. I think it's more specifically to elders, especially aunties at work. We're both in the medical field, so I think more of the younger generation. Yeah, I don't care, and most of my coworkers are younger. They don't really care. When
yeah,
it was more so the aunties,
older the aunties that I feel
I'm telling Kim, like the moment I hesitate or the moment I get scared to say girlfriend, I don't know, for some reason the conversation always comes up about relationships, and I knew for a fact if I was with a guy, I would have said it already. I knew that I should come out and just say it, because, you know, the more I knew, the more I said it, the more I didn't care, and the more I didn't care, the more the other person doesn't care. And if they do, then that's their bad. But for the most part, once you show that you don't care and you care about someone, you love someone, they don't care as well.
It's just so funny because I'm just starting to learn that, like when I should be the one that's been out, like, but I've just always been taught, and it's mainly to like aunties or older, where I feel like, oh, I can't tell them, but even just recently, I told her that I came out to one of my aunties who I've known for a long time, where she was like, oh, who's your boyfriend? And then I finally told her, I was like, auntie, I have a wife. And I just felt like I should, because here I am on Instagram, here I am on YouTube, talking about the love of my life, and then to this stranger or someone who I barely like see, like I keep it a secret from. Why? Like, not that I'm trying to be rude, like, but like I shouldn't have to keep Casey a secret. Like, she's such a big part of my life. Like,
then
like,
you know what? Plus, we have kids now, and I feel like we should set a good example.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't
and
want, if they were gay, I wouldn't want them to hide it.
That's the main driving force. If they were gay, like, they shouldn't have to feel like they should hide it.
Yeah.
And
so you know, just now getting comfy. Just kidding.
It's kind of true, but in that,
we would argue about it, and she'd be like, "Just wait until I get a new job."
But you know, like, letting people know is so liberating.
Yeah,
like, you feel okay. So there's this thing I saw on Facebook where Professor like this professor.
Dr. Phil.
No, filled a glass with water, and he told someone to hold it. And so this glass of water is super light, but he said keep holding it. And basically the lesson was
the more you
keep holding it, and the heavier it gets. And that's just the perfect analogy for how this is, because if you keep it in, the longer you keep it in, the heavier the weight feels. And so, you know, even just with that little thing that I finally told her, like, it just like felt like a whole weight just was lifted. Just in that simple instance, just like a small part of my life, but it just felt, like I said, liberating. Like, it just felt.
This is literally like a week ago.
And it's crazy because, like, I've been gay for how long, but you know, there's no right or way to come out, but I would suggest, if you can,
come out as soon as you can,
respectfully. You don't, you know, still respectful of how you do it. You know, there's a way you can do it,
and know that at first they might not take it very lightly. But like Kim said earlier, it's not over yet.
Yeah.
Just give them time to understand, because, like I said, it's still not accepting in this world.
And then parents. I saw a friend post this: the greatest thing you can do is just accept your children for
who they are. And you know, that's all they want. I didn't think I saw
who they are, what they want, you know, as long as they're not doing drugs. Just kidding. Yeah. It's,
well, that's our,
we like we said, we were very lucky for the majority
of the part.
Part of coming out and being accepted,
but I know there are people who have a hard time coming out to their parents because they're not really accepted, or their parents are in denial about it. But I feel like just be patient.
Yeah, but also understand that you have to give them time to understand.
Yeah,
because I could just see how it's hard to accept, but it's hard on both ends. But if you just let them, you know, if you're still a good person and you're still, you know, and you're gay, then it shouldn't matter. Like, if you're a good person and you're gay, then
it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
In the end,
yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's our story.
So that's our coming out story, or what we went through before we came out. And I think our next video is gonna be with the kids.
Yeah, we'll bring out the kids again. They're kind of jealous that they're not on
Yeah,
camera.
they were asking us why they weren't in this video, but
since people have been asking to do a coming out video, I figured
yeah,
we would make one. And if there's any other questions that you guys would want us to answer, just let us know.
Comment down below. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to us for more updates, and we will see you next time.
Toodles.
Bye.